When the AEW TNT title was first created, it was established as the TV belt, the workhorse belt, but in the last year of its existence, it's been relegated to nothing but a mid-card flip-flop title. And today, we're going to be discussing the brutal downfall of the AEW TNT Championship. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now, or else the TNT title is gonna change hands again. Because, I don't know, Tyrus will win if you don't subscribe right now. Anyway, on to the video. The AEW TNT title was established just at the start of the pandemic in AEW in 2020, and a tournament was created to crown an inaugural champion. And that tournament was of course won by Cody, who defeated Lance Archer at Double or Nothing 2020 to become the inaugural and first ever AEW TNT champion. It was a good first strong name to win the title and a good way to bring some value to the title, and Cody Rhodes would do an open challenge weekly upon winning the AEW TNT Championship, and throughout the entirety of his first reign, he defended it successfully against Jungle Boy, Mark Quinn, Ricky Starks, Jake Hager, Sonny Kiss, Eddie Kingston, Warhorse, and Scorpio Sky. But then on the August 22nd, 2020 episode of AEW Dynamite, Cody Rhodes faced Mr. Brody Lee for the AEW TNT Championship, and Brody Lee dominated and squashed Cody Rhodes to win the title in an awesome moment, ending Cody's reign at 82 days, and a very good reign to start off the TNT title, I will say. And Brody Lee's reign with the TNT title was really good as well. Perhaps the best TNT title reign, and it was only 55 days long, and it was just purely because he was presented so well with the title. He first of all squashed Cody Rhodes, he had a great match with Dustin Rhodes to retain the title, and an awesome match against Orange Cassidy to retain the title, before he lost it back to Cody Rhodes in that awesome dog collar match that two of them had. Brody Lee, a solid reign from him. In Cody's reign, he would face Orange Cassidy, which ended in a 20-minute time limit draw, and I remember everyone being so furious when that happened. And then Cody would defeat Orange Cassidy clean to retain it before he lost it to Darby Allin at AEW Full Gear 2020. Ending his reign at 31 days, and now we are about to enter the prime era of the AEW TNT title. Darby Allin was a very active champion, and he had a fairly long reign with it. In fact, he's actually the longest reigning TNT champion of all time at 186 days. He defended the title against Brian Cage, Joey Janela, John Silver, Scorpio Sky, Jungle Boy, just to name a few. He also had that match with Matt Hardy, that Falls Count Anywhere match, which was a really awesome match. And Darby Allin's reign was very fun, but it ended at a very natural time when he lost it to Miro on the May 12th, 2021 AEW Dynamite. And yeah, I think it's safe to say that Miro, Darby Allin, and Brody Lee, it's a toss-up between one of them as to who is the best TNT champion of all time. And for me, for my money, I might have to say Miro. Miro as God's favorite wrestler and as TNT champion was just such a fun reign. And Miro was presented as a huge star while he was the TNT champion. He defeated the likes of Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston on pay-per-view to retain the title. And he held it for 140 days until September 29th, 2021, when on AEW Dynamite, Sammy Guevara defeated Miro in Rochester, New York to win the title from him. It was a shame to see Miro lose the title, but this was at a time where people were really happy to see Sammy Guevara win the TNT title. And Sammy Guevara's first TNT title reign, it was okay, it was alright. He beat Bobby Fish, beat Ethan Page, beat Jay Lethal, beat Tony Nese, before he lost it to Cody, who beat him on the Christmas Day Rampage episode. What a great present that was. And it's also here that on Christmas Day in 2021, that this was really the start of the downfall of the AEW TNT Championship. Cody Rhodes defended it once against Ethan Page, and then he got injured and an interim champion had to be crowned. That interim champion turned out to be Sammy Guevara, who defeated Dustin Rhodes. And 2 weeks later, yes, just 2 weeks later, we had the unification match. What was the point of the interim champion if the unification match was 2 weeks later? And even more confusing is that the unification match was won by Sammy Guevara. Don't get me wrong, absolutely awesome match. Of course, it was the ladder match, but why did this need to happen? Why did Cody Rhodes win the AEW TNT title, just defend it once, have an interim champion be crowned, and then they have a unification match and he loses. But yes, Cody Rhodes' reign ends at 32 days. Sammy Guevara's second reign with the TNT title was actually very solid though. He defeated the likes of Darby Allin, Andrade, and then Darby and Andrade in a triple threat match. I remember all three of those matches being very, very good. But then Scorpio Sky got himself into a feud with the Men of the Year. And I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that this was quite possibly one of the worst AEW feuds of all time. I mean, not just Sammy versus the Men of the Year, but also the Inner Circle versus American Top Team in general. That entire feud was just awful. But yes, Scorpio Sky would end Sammy Guevara's reign on the March 9th, 2022 Dynamite, and it's official, lads. The flip-flop era of the AEW TNT title has officially began. Scorpio Sky is AEW TNT champion. He made one successful defense against Wardlow, then lost it back to Sammy Guevara at AEW Battle of the Belts 2. He ends his reign at 37 days. And then Sammy Guevara's third reign with the title, he didn't defend it once successfully, and then 12 days later, yes, 12 days after winning the title, he lost it back to Scorpio Sky in a ladder match on AEW Dynamite. But during Scorpio Sky's second reign, we actually got a bit of return to normality for the AEW TNT Championship, and the championship was being held for a good amount of time. Scorpio Sky held the title for 70 days, making a couple of defenses before losing it to Wardlow on AEW Dynamite on the 6th of July. Wardlow winning the AEW TNT Championship was really exciting. However, I think it's safe to say that AEW really failed Wardlow with his TNT title reigns. And his first one is no different. It might have lasted 136 days, but there's really not much to show for it in this reign. The biggest name he defended against was Orange Cassidy, and that was at the very start of his reign. Other than that, he's got 1-minute matches against Ryan Nemeth, Tony Nese, and Ari Daivari. He lost the title at AEW Full Gear 2022 to Samoa Joe in a triple threat match, also including Powerhouse Hobbs. Samoa Joe's reign was only 46 days, but this was a really fun reign, a short but sweet reign. He defeated AR Fox to retain the title first, then he defeated Darby Allin in an absolutely awesome match. He retained against Wardlow, and then the week later, Darby Allin would defeat Samoa Joe to become a two-time AEW TNT champion, and all those last 3 matches happened in 3 weeks. So yeah, Samoa Joe was on it, he was so back. And then Darby Allin, again, a really short but sweet reign. The flip-flop era is back well and truly, but this reign from Darby was a solid one. It was only 28 days, but he had fun matches against Juice Robinson, Kushida, and Buddy Matthews before he lost it back to Samoa Joe in another match that was really good between the two. These two had great chemistry. But anyway, Samoa Joe's second TNT title reign, he didn't make a single defense before he lost it back to Wardlow at Revolution 2023. And now Wardlow's second AEW TNT title reign, he didn't make a single defense before he lost it back 3 days later to Powerhouse Hobbs. And Powerhouse Hobbs did actually make some defenses of the title at the very least. Defeated Rey Fenix, defeated Pentagon, even faced Wrecking Ball Legursky of the Fixers on an independent show, before he lost it back to Wardlow on the 19th of April Dynamite after 42 days. And yeah, once again we got another Wardlow reign where he really did nothing. He defeated Christian Cage at Double or Nothing, which was a good match and probably the biggest defense of his entire time as TNT champion here, and he did defeat Jake Hager in a fairly forgettable match before he has recently lost it to Luchasaurus on the first episode of AEW Collision. Which, yeah, I'm intrigued to see Luchasaurus, if they are going to keep him as champion or if they're just going to award the title to Christian Cage, which it looked like they could possibly do. They should do that. But I'm open to seeing Luchasaurus as TNT champion. It's just a surprising decision to say the least. But regardless, Wardlow did not get a fair shake at all as TNT champion in all 3 of his reigns. Here's hoping that AEW Collision can be a new era for the TNT title, and we can get the TNT title being defended more actively and being established back as that workhorse television belt once again.